Building wide and balanced looking shoulders is key when it comes to developing an aesthetically appealing upper body. But many bodybuilders fail to achieve this because they either execute their shoulder exercises incorrectly or choose exercises that are ineffective or even risky, which may be a recipe for injury in the long run. In this video, I'll tackle 3 big mistakes that are limiting your shoulder gains using science-based analysis. Coming up. The seated shoulder press is a staple exercise that primarily targets the front delt with some contribution from the middle and rear delts. However, many lifters make vital errors when performing this exercise that limit its effectiveness. For example, one of the mistakes to avoid is flaring your elbows out at the bottom of each rep. This places unwanted stress on the shoulder and puts the rotator cuff muscles at risk of injury. You need to prevent this by always keeping your elbows tucked slightly forward into what's called the scapular plane, which has been shown in multiple biomechanical studies to be safe for the shoulder to press. Another mistake is arching the back to overcompensate in an attempt to get the weight up, which happens when the weight is too heavy or when fatigue sets in. To avoid this, you need to lighten the weight and brace your core by keeping it contracted to ensure spine stability and improve muscular effectiveness of your press. Finally, when the dumbbells reach the top of the press, avoid clinking them together, as this throws off the mechanics of the movement. Also remember not to lock your arms overhead, as this shifts tension away from the delts to the triceps and is also unsafe for your joints. Instead, stop short of locking out your elbows to keep your delts continuously engaged throughout the movement. The reason why I've mentioned the lateral raises here is not only because it's been shown in multiple studies to elicit greatest activation of the side delts, being the most important of the 3 shoulder heads for maximizing overall shoulder width, but also for the fact that many lifters make a ton of errors on this exercise despite being a simple basic movement. One of the mistakes commonly seen is lifting heavy with excessive momentum. Doing this is bad since it reduces stimulation of the side delts and increases chances of shoulder injury. Remember, the objective of the lateral raises is maximizing tension on the side delts, which requires that you use a light enough weight to perform the movement under strict control with minimal use of momentum. Another mistake is raising the weight too high above shoulder level, which seems problematic as it reduces tension on the delts by recruiting more of the upper traps and puts undue stress on the shoulder, risking impingement, according to a 2014 study from the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research. The study also analyzed the effect of internally rotating the arms on the shoulder joint, which many bodybuilders do to shift the line of force opposing gravity away from the anterior delts more towards the lateral and rear delts to maximize tension on the muscle. The study found this puts the shoulder in a biomechanically unfavorable position, exacerbating risk of impingement in the long run. The final mistake is leading the exercise with the hands and raising them above the elbows. This shifts tension away from the delts into the rotator cuffs, turning the movement more into an external rotation than shoulder abduction, being the primary function of the lateral delts. To fix all these mistakes, you first need to angle your arms inside the scapular plane around 20 to 30 degrees in front of your torso while slightly bending your elbows. Next, lean little forward and externally rotate your humerus by turning your thumbs slightly up. This creates a safe position for your shoulder and opens more space for your rotator cuff tendons to move. Ensure you raise the weight to shoulder height, no further. Doing all this will minimize stress on the shoulder joint and maximize activation of your side delts. This exercise is similar to the standard shoulder press, but differs in the technique since it starts and ends behind the neck instead of being in front. However, this is known to be a risky exercise since it puts your shoulder into severe external rotation that may compromise the rotator cuff and forces you to stick your neck forward to allow the bar to pass behind the head. Because of the potential contraindications of this exercise, you should only do it if you have excellent shoulder mobility or a specific need, such as if you're looking to develop upper body mobility for Olympic lifting. Other than that, it should be avoided and replaced with the standard in front of the head shoulder press, since it targets the same muscles, is much safer for the shoulder, and it enables you to lift more weight. The upright rows is another exercise that you should be wary of. The exercise requires you to bring your elbows above shoulder height at an angle beyond 90 degrees while internally rotating your shoulders and arms. According to this study from the Strength and Conditioning Journal, this violates biomechanics of the shoulder and increases risk of shoulder impingement. In order to respect shoulder biomechanics while maintaining the primary muscles recruited by the exercise, mainly the traps and side delts, you can do a safer and more effective version of the exercise by applying these 3 key adjustments. Number 1, widen the grip to double shoulder width, which has been shown by this EMG analysis from the Strength and Conditioning Journal to be safer on the shoulder joint and to elicit greater activation of the traps and side delts, with the humerus now being farther away from the body midline compared to the narrow grip version. Number 2, make sure you don't raise your elbows beyond shoulder height. And number 3, raise your hands to the level of elbows or slightly higher. This will prevent internal rotation of your shoulder and will keep the tension on your side delts. While the front raise is not a risky exercise to perform for your shoulder, adding it to your routine to target the front delt may be unnecessary, since research indicates that the front delt is sufficiently stimulated in the various compound pressing movements like the flat bench, incline bench, and overhead press. Further, emphasizing this muscle with isolation exercises like the front raises may probably be time-wasting and counterproductive, and may even lead to overall shoulder muscular imbalances with bigger and stronger front delts compared to underdeveloped and weaker rear delts, which over time may contribute to shoulder injury. This is why it's best to stick to the compound movements for developing the front delts and focus on developing the rear delts by adding exercises specific to this muscle for more safety and balanced look of your shoulder. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any shoulder development issues or need clarification on what was covered in the video, drop me a comment below. If you liked the video, please like and share, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're looking for a complete self-educational training guide that teaches you step by step how to customize your workout and meal plans using science-based methods to optimize your results, please visit my website or check the video linked up. Also check my next 2 videos on how to build bigger biceps and how to overhead press properly for bigger shoulders.